Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Anne. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Marcy. How are you?
Fabulous. I am in the comfort of the brand new office here.
Where
Uh,
is it?
it's on 107 in Spring, downtown Seattle. We kind of moved back this way. Unfortunately, the WeWork office at the Capitol Hill building got closed, so we had to move out
Oh,
and move in, but it is lovely, and you will find other opportunities in the future where we get the community together to see the space. I promise you all that.
good. But as if I want to come to downtown
I
Seattle,
know,
you
I
know?
know, right? But don't worry, we are kind of central. So there's the university stop for the link, and then also King Street Station. We're kind of like
Oh, that
sandwiched.
helps.
Yeah, we're sandwiched into those options. So we will absolutely let folks know
When did
how
you move?
just this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 2, 3 weeks ago, I want to say. Yeah, it was pretty. We got word that the Capitol Hill WeWork was closing, and then we had about less than 30 days to decide
Wow.
which location we would be going into next. And now we're on 107 in Spring, kind of back into the downtown Seattle area with our first office being Fourth and Spring or Fourth and Union. But we like it. This is the backdrop of a wall here with all things that we've done, coordinated and political behind me. So an homage to our work. All right, folks are still coming in. I love it. Let's see. Hi, Miss Faye.
Hey, Larcy. So good to see you.
Good to see you. We have lots of fun updates and so many. Believe there's going to be some new folks here too. If we have not said hello to you yet, we'll have some agenda items to call you out on. But we are holding down the community meeting today. So the CPFuture space, we have lots of update around CPFuture, Action Academy, updates on most recent trips that we were just on, not just the on the ground field work update, but Jubilee that just happened in Selma this past weekend. David and Charles will not be joining us tonight because they are currently doing a workshop in Metho Valley, up north of us in Winthrop, I believe. But there's like 100 some plus folks that are eager to hear all about Common Power. So we'll probably have an update for you all in the next coming meeting about how those presentations went. Definitely eager to get started. So welcome everybody to the Common Power March community meeting. Once a month, we have these on the first Thursday of every single month. So you get to hear all things CP. So this month at this meeting, CPFuture is hosting. So you get to hear all sorts of fun things that the CPFuture team and young Gen Z leaders have been up to since they graduated Action Academy 2023, and what new programs we've started. Action Academy applications for 2024 have launched. They're still going. The numbers are incredibly strong. I will get an update about like what the landscape looks like for us in 2024. But I'm going to step aside and let Blossom get us started. And we have the technical support here of Miss Kyra Fisher doing the slides with the CPFuture Common Power community meeting. So take it away, team.
So hi everyone, I'm Blossom. I am the program assistant this year for Action Academy, as was the last year for Action Academy 2023, as well as the coordinator for Campus Leads, our new program that I, with along the help of Larcy, just created so that there's at least like a middle pipeline in between Action Academy and going to its fieldwork. So I want to introduce the team real quick. So we have Larcy as our director, me as a program assistant and program coordinator for Campus Leads. Then we have Ellie, whoop, whoop, program coordinator for operations. So our like behind the scenes, she does a lot of like the behind the scenes, you know, documents, things of that nature. And then we have our media manager, program coordinator, Kyra, who she just made this wonderful Canva and slides that you guys are seeing. So thank you guys for being here, allowing us to host this month, and as well as, you know, we would love for you guys to put your first and last names on the Zoom. If you would love to put your pronouns, go ahead, and if you could turn your cameras on, we want to see your beautiful faces, as well as I do see some faces from North Carolina trip that we'll talk about later on. Hi, Faye. Hi, Miss Faye. So, our icebreaker question today is, what color best describes you? And I'm going to kick it off and say pink. It's my favorite color, but also like, I feel like my energy is pink. You could type in the chat and as well as like unmute. Larcy, I was thinking you were going to say blue. I was thinking you would either say blue or green. Emerald, Kyra?
Kyra had to go fancy on us and say emerald.
I know.
Green.
Everybody else is just putting regular colors. Oh, turquoise.
Salmon.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Davis.
Kyra's funny. She says she loves money and fall.
Okay, so far we got some team blues here.
But we have like a big team green too. So no other pinks. Mint green.
Mint
Wow.
green. Okay. All right.
Very
Now we're getting fancy.
Good to see you too, Jessica. Oh, okay, gray. I like that color too.
Jessica. Okay, you've been in Seattle and Washington too long. If you're gonna own the gray hue as your description of your color, let's get you out more into the field.
Ben, I absolutely knew it would either be yellow or something like that. You
Oh,
do.
Donna, look at that deep purple. I
Deep
love it.
purple.
Sweet. Well, thank you all. And if you're still thinking, totally put it into the chat. We'd love to see where this rainbow of answers are going to come from. Go ahead to the next slide, Kyra. We want to honor a day today. It's this really, really cool day. So today we honor the sheroes and heroes of Bloody Sunday that occurred 59 years ago on March 7th, 1965. I want to also highlight that on our CPFuture.org rebranded page has a tab and a whole section around Voting 101. And one of the things that we do want to honor is the ground zero of voting rights, and it is Selma, Alabama. And if you want to learn more about what happened in Selma, Alabama, go to cpfuture.org and click on the Voting 101 page, and you have lots to choose from to learn a little bit more about voting. So today is Bloody Sunday back in 1965, where a group of peaceful protesters went to try to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge, but was met with very, very violent reactions to law enforcement. And many people, as you can see here, barely see here, but in the front lines of this particular standoff is the late Senator John Lewis. So if you want to learn more a little bit about that and the historical piece that is monumental of today, go ahead and go to cpfuture.org and kind of see pieces of information about that particular day and learn a little bit more about it if you don't already. So thank you for that, but we wanted to honor that today is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday, March 7th, 1965. Thanks, Kyra. Okay, so like we said, this is a little bit about CPFuture and Action Academy. So many of you know right now we are promoting Action Academy applications and our numbers are strong. But since 2020, we have been very, very surprised at the impact that this program has on the students that have graduated in the last 3 years since the academy has opened. So Kyra, take it away. But I think all of the numbers that you're going to hear from Kyra today is worth celebrating, that in 3 years, we've graduated 300 students, a little bit over 300 students. We're going really, really strong. But in surveys that we've asked students how they really felt Action Academy made an impact going through our educational pipeline, like these numbers are absolutely something we want to celebrate, be proud of. So go ahead, Kyra.
Hi,
Kyra,
sorry.
there you
It
are.
just
All right, you're
did a
there. We
quick
hear
thing.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this year we gathered some data. It's really exciting. Hold on, let me turn down my mic. Sorry. We have a impact report for you all. So 93% of our students believe Action Academies prepare them to be active participants. It's also very exciting news to know that 2/3 of our students are being in the field. They're door knocking, they're postcarding, they're putting in the action behind the education. And that's what we're all about. And we've had over 300 graduates the past 3 years. I'm going to let Ellie talk a little bit more about our application process this year. But just over the past 3 years, we've put in a lot of work and our students have come out better.
Hi everyone. So as of February 29th, we have 87 plus applicants. That's 93% more than we had during the first month our application was open last year. Right now we do have over 95 responses, spreading from 40 plus different colleges, universities, over 18 different states. We do have our career lead application that is also just recently launched March 1st, and we do have already new 10 career leads that are 10 students that are interested in being career leads for this year's cohort. So that's very exciting because hopefully we will have a big cohort this year. And then yeah, so students are definitely viewing our new website internationally. It's a new website, new branded. So I'll pass it on to Kyra, I believe.
Hi guys, I'm back again. Okay, so our website is doing phenomenal. We are in 18 different countries, and in every state, we have at least one view. We're also in a lot of red states, which is really good news. The students are coming to us. They want to learn about voting rights. They want to learn how to be civically engaged. We were really excited when we saw numbers pop up in states like Kansas, Florida, where this type of education is being attacked. We also have 93% more applicants in our first month this year than we did last year in that first month. So opening up our application early has benefited us tremendously. So we're getting a lot of engagement on our new website. It's beautiful. The team put together some really nice guidance for students to navigate through the new site. We've had 9K visits so far, which is incredible. And our most viewed page is our Action Academy page. So students are definitely applying, but they're also checking out our Future Leaders page. They're checking out Future Leaders and who we are, and they're getting excited about joining us this summer. We're also on Instagram now. We just started in February. We've been posting a lot, and we've reached 582 accounts this month alone. Our most viewed post is a reel we made with some Action Academy alum. We'll be showing you guys that at the end, and it has 582 views as of February 28th.
So I want to also just highlight.
I'll take it over to Ellie and Blossom to talk about our Campus Leads program.
Yeah, before that, really quick, just to highlight, we get really excited whenever we see a new college or a new state get added to the map. Nebraska, Kansas, Utah, and like Kyra said, these are states where there's a lot of blueberries in tomato soup. And these blueberries are being found and they're making their way to us either just on social media. That's why it was so important to put social media out there for our branding, but also just word of mouth from other students. They have family, they have friends in these key red states that are our little blueberries. And so they learn about us because their friend or cousin or family member have graduated from the academy, and they're bringing them to us. The referred from an Action Academy alum is always one of our top 3 really, really effective way of recruiting. It's normally our schools, because we know that's where students are, partner organizations, because we want them to get educated as well. But our third, almost like our third strongest way that students are coming to us is by word of mouth. And all those 3 ways is the best way that our applications are getting out there to the people that need to come and find us. So yeah, we got really excited to see Kansas, Utah, Nebraska. So I would love, we love more than anything to have a footprint in every single state as we continue to grow Action Academy and CPFuture. Go ahead, Ellie, your turn.
I'm gonna explain it real quick and then get back to
Yes.
Ellie. So campus leads are actually new program in CPFuture right now. I had the idea about this just because Action Academy is so fun. And after we get out of Action Academy, it's like, okay, what are we doing now? So I was like, Larcy, what can we do to kind of bridge the gap between like Action Academy and going into field work? So Action Academy, Campus Leads is a 6-month internship for our Action Academy graduates, preferably the ones that are in college. And during that time, they promote Action Academy, but as well as do civic engagement on their campuses. So that can range from phone banking, text banking with their peers, all the way up to tabling, doing registration, like voter registration, doing voter education on their campuses, getting different partners for us, and getting us different channels so that we can get more people for Action Academy. And actually, all of our 14 students, there's one missing on my side, but all of our 14 students have done an amazing job. They're also the reason why we have up to almost 100 students for the applications. So I'll let Ellie take it off so she can tell you how her students are doing on the West Coast.
Yeah, so as you can see, we just split up between West Coast and East Coast students. And so on my side, all the West students are doing really good. We have so many that are spreading the word about Action Academy and Common Power in general. A lot of my students have been doing tabling work, voter registration, and just talking to professors in classrooms on campus and just saying what they do. And things like that. We also had a student who she recently held an event in her school. She had many students showing up, and then she also got us over 10 students to apply for Action Academy, so it was amazing. And then we also will hear from some of our students, but I'll let them kind of tell you more about what they're doing and how everything's going.
Yeah, so I'm gonna highlight some of my East Coasters, but before I highlight them, they actually have been doing amazing work. We have Cal and Davis here who actually they started like an Action Academy kind of like campus leads program in their college, as well as Ashley, she's doing great work on her campus as well, like doing voter registration and things like that. So first I'm gonna ask Davis to come off mute, and then I'm gonna have Cal and Ashley, and you guys can go in that order, and then Ellie, you can pick.
Hi.
We can hear you. Hi, Davis. Welcome.
Okay. Yeah, so for the campus leads on my campus, I'm involved in 2 organizations. So I've got Black Student Union and then College Democrats that I work with, and I've been able to get like some members or like interest from that. As well as my advisor for my Black Student Union Club. She's an AKA, and when I told her about the opportunity, she pretty much just put it into her chat about like from her sororities, and they're like telling other people about it. So it's kind of like word of mouth. And we're trying to do like a collaborated event where it's BSU and the College Democrats. We're doing an event. So maybe like an advocacy day where we talk about campus leads.
Oh, and before Kyle goes, can each campus lead tell the community what colleges and universities you guys are attending, and where, if it doesn't already have it in the university name, at least like the state that you guys are in?
Yeah, I go to Charleston Southern University, and that's in North Charleston, South Carolina.
Thank you so much, Davis.
You're welcome.
Kyle, you can come off mute, and then Ashley Ewald.
Hold on, Blossom. Give me a second. I'm at a fundraising reception. I gotta get away from the music.
Okay, well, while he's doing that, we're gonna have Ashley Ewald come on. These are my East Coasters, guys.
Hey, sorry. My camera's not on because I'm so sweaty, so I kind of look really gross. But yeah, so what I'm working on is one, getting people to
Oh, Ashley, I think we
Working with-
lost you.
sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
So sorry about that. For campus leads, to make sure we're spreading Common Powers, I am creating flyers that show what Common Power stands for, its mission, how to join, and I'm going to be printing a lot of flyers out for our Woman of Color political brunch. And I meant to tell you this, Blossom. This is what I was texting you about, was that on April 17th, I'm working with Vonda. She is in charge. She's part of the Democrat Party of Georgia. And so even though we are nonpartisan, still, this is more about educational. And we've already invited Rep. Tanya Miller, Senator Sonia Halpern, Rua Rahman, Michelle Au. And we're basically hosting a gathering where we're having women of color in our state office come and talk about leadership and talk about like what they have done to help amplify women's voices in the state of Georgia. And so when that takes place on April 17th, we're going to be at a restaurant as well. So there'll be food, all that. Whoever's in Georgia, they can definitely come. I will be sharing that flyer of Common Power and passing it out to the college students and adults alike. So that's just a big initiative that we've been trying to plan out.
Thank you so much, Ashley. And if you didn't already, can you just remind us what school you go to? And
Yeah, of course. Yes, Oglethorpe University, and I'm a junior.
okay, and she's in Georgia. She's located in Georgia, guys.
Yes, so sorry.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Kyle, are you now ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Well, my name is Kyle. I attend the greatest school of all time, the University of South Carolina, and I'm proud to be a campus lead for Common Power. I've been involved with Common Power for exactly a year. Us leaving Raleigh was an exact year ago from when I went on my first trip and my first interaction with Common Power. And most importantly, what I've been doing with campus leads, most importantly, is simply of the matter of the fact that we have partnered with different organizers across not only our little city of Columbia, South Carolina, but we've most importantly have partnered with other organizations across my campus, the University of South Carolina campus. We've partnered with the organization called Democracy Matters, which is a bipartisan club and organization whose main efforts and main goal is to just have everyone know how to distinct the difference between fact and fiction. Thank you, Blossom.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kyle. And Kyle and Rowan is not on the call right now, but she also was actually on the ground with us in North Carolina. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'll pass it to Ellie so that she can highlight one of her West Coast students.
Yes, I would like to highlight Aubrey. Aubrey, you can speak on your experience, how everything's going with campus leads.
Yeah, so I am attending Brigham Young University Provo in Utah. I'm originally from Washington State though, so I basically as campus lead, a lot of what I've been doing is connecting with professors that I know or professors that I've heard of and presenting in front of classes and telling students who I've never met about this program, hopefully kind of as a way to overcome any sort of selection bias that I might otherwise have. But I've also done phone banking with some local nonprofits to get their friends to check to see if they're registered to vote, and also doing providing flyers and presentations to professors to share in their classroom lectures or put on their like their syllabi as potential extracurricular activities for them. Most recently, a big thing that I've been doing in terms of civic engagement is we just had our primaries, and but Utah this year the Democrats did a primary mail-in ballot and the Republicans did a caucus presidential preference poll, which was a new thing and everyone was very confused. So I definitely was pulling from my civics understanding and some other resources. And I've kind of, because of Action Academy and some of the other work I've done, I've kind of set myself up as some sort of like civics bring your FAQ to me sort of thing. And so a lot of my friends were reaching out to me and just talking to them about my experiences and my understanding of what was going on in civics and where I got that knowledge from. So all sorts of different things, but there's been some really great responses. I've gotten to work with the Interfaith Club, the Anti-Racism Club, a couple of queer organizations off campus. So yeah, we've kind of gotten to cover the gambit a little bit. And I think what I'm most excited about is that I really, although there is obviously like a slant for who is participating in Action Academy in terms of political leanings, because BYU is a majority conservative school and a majority conservative state, I'm really excited to see more conservative students who might be interested in this kind of thing also get to participate in Action Academy and learn about things that they might not otherwise be exposed to in their circles. So I'm really excited about that.
Thank you so much, Aubrey, and thank you so much to all the campus leads for doing all the work that is amazing. And then, yeah, we'll continue with the slide.
So we're gonna have other departments updates. I'm gonna have Ben unmute and tell some updates about field work. And then Ellie and I will talk about being on the ground in Texas and North Carolina. And then we'll have one of our very own volunteers, Elizabeth, come and talk about being on the ground as well.
Goodness,
Wait,
why
hold
am
up.
I getting? Yeah.
Wait, hold on, Ben. Can I take over for like 2 seconds here? I just want
Always.
I want to highlight what Jen said in the chat is that the work of the campus leads on their own, because of the experience they have from Action Academy, not only from an educational standpoint, they're becoming the go-to for all things politics or all things voting, but they're out there kind of spreading that energy out to the corners of our country that desperately need that kind of modeling from our young people. So if they're out there discussing political rhetoric in the proper way, having been grounded in the mindset of having a just, inclusive democracy, and they are spreading it on campus, they're spreading it through their family, like that's what we want, getting them to flex those muscles early on. And even though they're reporting and they're saying, hey, I did this tabling, I did this voter registration, or I coordinated with this organization, and now we're having this big event, is how natural they sound when they're out there talking about it. And that, getting them to that habit of civic engagement, getting them into that habit of civic action is going to be a really good future for them. Because when they're in their 40s or 50s and they hear about another organization that are upbringing young folks into the fold of this kind of work, it's not going to be foreign to them. it is going to be something that they have considered as part of their lifestyle. So I want to thank the community for the continued support for making sure that that our young folks get to flex those muscles. So congratulations to everybody on this call. All right, back to you, Ben.
All good. I was gonna say, I don't know if I should be the one giving the fieldwork update, given like so many people who were on the ground on this call right now. And I will say, we got back yesterday. Okay, so there's some of the faces you see here on the Zoom landed anytime between maybe 2 p.m. to midnight last night, and then hopped on here to do some work. So thank you all for showing up and being in community, even though we were in community for an extensive amount of time the last week. So. I want to just give some high level stuff. For those of you who don't know, 2 state teams deployed the last week to prepare for Super Tuesday, and they're in North Carolina and Texas. And we had roughly about 21 volunteers in North Carolina and about 15 in Texas, and collectively we did about 3,000 doors. So I'll let each team kind of like break down the experience and some of the numbers there in a second. And it was, I think it's like our first state team deployment this year for the primaries. So that was a really big milestone for us. And we're going to get back out there again next week for Team Ohio. So, all right, Blossom, where should I start first? Team Texas, Team North Carolina?
I'll let Team Texas go first.
Wow. Okay. Okay, Elizabeth, you want to get on the spotlight? Both Elizabeths, actually. Ellie and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, this is Elizabeth. I'm driving. I'm like a minute from where I'm supposed to be. But maybe can Olivia talk first?
Yeah, is Olivia on the call? If not, Ellie can jump in while you're making your way down there.
Actually, I'm here, so I can talk.
Oh, sounds good. We delayed.
Okay, so I was hoping. Okay, well, anyway, we had an awesome trip in Texas. Yeah, as Ben said, we had 15 people. We started with only 10. Let's see. Now I'm off. Now I've got camera. I don't know. It was a great trip. It was a successful trip in so many ways. I mean, first of all, our candidate won. We knocked 1,789 doors in 4 days in 88 to 91 degree heat and extremely high humidity. Our candidate won. But on top of that, just as important, we really strengthened our relationship with our candidates team on the ground, and that's laying the groundwork for future trips, because we're going to want to go back in the fall to support her to win the general election and go to the U.S. House of Representatives and represent South Texas there and help us flip the House back blue. We also got to know another local voting action organization on the ground, and may be able to start developing a good relationship with them there too. They're called Lupe Votes, and they're part of an organization, Lupe, that was actually started by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. I say that right? They were really cool, and so we learned a lot from them. We also really kind of built this wonderful community of people who work together across all of our differences, multi-generational, multiracial group that was working and laughing together for 4 days. We had an awesome leadership development session with Dr. Devin Geary. It was Dialogue for Democracy. It was really quite profound. I think that there's going to be, from all of that work across difference, the ripples are going to go out in all of our normal lives. We take that with us to everything else that we do, and, take it with us to the next time we get to work for democracy. So I was just really excited and thrilled to be there, and really thrilled to be working with Olivia. So anything more you want to hear?
That's
Is
perfect.
Olivia here?
I don't think Olivia's here.
No, she is.
Totally okay. I know Elizabeth just spoke, but I was there on the ground with Elizabeth and Olivia. I had the privilege of being part of the team this time around in Texas. And I had been to Texas and McAllen before in 2022. It felt the same as amazing as it did 2 years ago. But Elizabeth and Olivia truly made it a special trip. So really, really shout out to them for being two of the first, well, in North Carolina also went to on the ground this past week. So shout out to the leads there. I believe it was Vanessa and Sam, and other folks who were down there. So shout out to them as well. But what I witnessed was amazing from Olivia and Elizabeth, such great leaders on the ground, just so kind and so grateful towards our partners. And I believe that they have a great team set up for our fall trip to Texas. So shout out to them. And I want to say that I had a great time. And I hope that the folks who were down there with us did too. And shout out for the awesome doors that we had there too as well. And some other young leads who were not specifically the Texas leads, but I want to shout out Ellie and Jenny for also being on the ground with us and supporting the team during at the doors. A lot of the voters were Latinx Spanish speakers, so they did definitely support down there. And huge shout out to Jenny. I know she's not here, but I wanted to show you all. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. Trying to find it. She created a really cool glossary that I can't in Spanish that I will, if you travel with us in the future, I wanted to just show it off. It is a Spanish, I know it's tiny on the screen, but it is awesome Spanish glossary, English to Spanish, that you'll be able to use on the ground if you travel with us to Nevada, Arizona in the future. So shout out to Jenny for putting it together and putting all of her effort into it, and all of her creativity. Anyway, another thing really quickly for fieldwork is that our next upcoming training is our 101 fieldwork training 101 on Monday, the 11th. So I just wanted to also remind folks that those are still going on and they'll go through, we have all of them scheduled out through June. So please take a look at our events calendar and make sure to join one of them. Thank you, Larcy. Thank you, CPFuture team for leading this awesome community meeting.
Thank you so much, MJ. And Ellie, did you still want to go? I know they almost took the whole entire Texas from you, but if you still want to say something, you can, of course.
No, yeah, I'll just say something like real short and simple. Just quick shout out to Elizabeth and Olivia. They did a really good job of leading Team Texas. I joined halfway, but I heard a lot of amazing things at the beginning of it. It was really great to go back to McAllen. I also went when MJ went in 2022. So just being back was really amazing. And then just being able to support the candidate as well. Just being able to connect with volunteers that I haven't been able to work on the ground with as well. Me and Elizabeth were talking, and we had traveled before on the ground, but we realized we haven't, and that was just also an amazing thing to be able to be on the ground with Elizabeth and just see her leadership on the ground and just with everybody, all the volunteers. So yeah, just amazing leadership from Olivia and Elizabeth. Yeah.
Texas sound like so much fun, but I'm not gonna lie, North Carolina, we had way more fun. So we actually we knocked on almost 3,000 doors. We were in between Raleigh and Durham. We visited both of those different parts of North Carolina. We did a lot of like voter education while we were on the ground. So more like, just telling people, okay, you have a primary election on Tuesday. The polls close at 7:30. Even if you're in the line by 7:30, you still can go and vote. It was more like that. But we had like some great experiences at some doors. Like literally there was one door I knocked on. I was looking for somebody's husband actually, but the wife answered and she was like, "Oh yeah, we already voted. Actually, I think my husband's at the poll right now." And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we had a whole entire conversation. But North Carolina, the beautiful South had like great vibes, great energy. We had a total of 21 volunteers, and shout out to Vanessa and two of our own, like very own Gen Z leaders, Rowan and Sam, who are also both campus leads. You see, like they're just in leader positions. That's what we do in Action Academy. We just pump them up. but they also were team leads and they did an amazing job. This is their first time ever team leading anything on the ground, and they tried their absolute best. And I see some people from North Carolina, if they want to tell their experience as well. But North Carolina was very fun, a lot of like voter education, and we wanted to like inform people about like the new voter ID laws, because they have like, you know, some funky things going on in North Carolina with the voter ID and what you can and can't have. It got to do this, it got to do that. You know, we're trying to help the South. Yeah, basically shenanigans. And Miss Faye, if you are available, do you want to tell your experience in North Carolina and how you had so much fun with us?
I did. I didn't want to come home. It is, I mean, the model that the fieldwork community does in CP is amazing, because you guys lead, and it is amazing to see this multi-racial, multi-generational fusion come together as we're canvassing. And I'm glad I don't have to do the driving, because you guys have no problem maneuvering around any city we're in. I was with Sam and some folks on the first day on Saturday. We had a ball, and just meeting Action, I mean, Advanced Carolina team. It was just amazing who we partner with. They are very well organized. And so I just really have shouts out for the leadership. You guys make me so proud. I tell folks in my age group that I have a lot of hope. They're kind of gloom and doom. I said, if you would hang out with some of the folks I hang out with that are college students and beyond, you wouldn't have a care in the world about where we're headed and how wonderful things are going to be this November. So I just thank you, Blossom and Sam and Rowan and all the leadership. You guys are just amazing, and you just blow my mind.
Thank you so much, Miss Faye. That warms my heart. And I'm pretty sure Miss Faye can attest. We had like a lot of karaoke going on in Sam's car. We had like we might have a karaoke fundraiser coming up. Hopefully you guys will be a part of that. But it was so fun in North Carolina. It was a great experience being on the ground, but also being on the ground with so many people that cared about saving our democracy. That was an amazing thing to do together. I'm gonna hand it back to Larcy real quick
Yes.
before we do any thank yous.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And absolutely, Miss Faye, I totally agree. Being around that energy, being around that hope, being around a mindset where there's still possibilities that we can go and conquer, it is very refreshing. So I encourage you guys to come into CPFuture, support CPFuture, support Action Academy, drink this Kool-Aid, because it is so energetic in this space that they look at possibilities. They look at a future, but there's still so much that can be done versus what have we failed to do. And I love that flip of a mindset that literally the future is us. And that is our hashtag. That is our secret sauce to all of our passwords in the CPFuture space, because I want that tattooed in their mind that the future is us, because there's so much of a future that they are in control of building. So absolutely, I agree with all of that. Energy is just so good to have around you. So anytime somebody feels like there is loom and gloom, just send them our way, because they just say, go sit next to a Gen Z. You'll feel better. But just some quick set of numbers. When we were regrouping the trips, the entirety of the trips, everyone knocked on at least like 5,000 doors this past weekend. That's a lot of doors. That's a lot of walking. That's a lot of cars. And if you have been on the ground with us, that's a logistical lift that allows for an efficiency to happen while we're on the ground. And the fact that young people are applying these skills, applying critical thinking, applying dynamics of how a group should be, and relationship building, and also like being in community with the wiser folks about tips and like best practices. It is why we do things in multi-generational capacities, because could young people do this on their own? Absolutely. Will it be the best effort possible? It can be, but we don't have much time right now, folks. And everyone knows our democracy is hurting. So the quicker we can exchange wisdom, the quicker we can exchange energy, the faster we can go out there and get to those doors. And that is the secret sauce and the formula that we are going into for 2024. So I want to do a really quick update because yes, we are dealing in the now, and that is really, really good stuff in the now, but to honor and commemorate the past. Also, like we said, today is the anniversary of Bloody Sunday and what those folks had to go through to just make sure that a piece of voting legislation doesn't discriminate their community and them is not what we're facing today. So the fact that we honor those folks at those front lines to say it is why it's easier for me to get to that door is the reason why we also understand what we still have to do and what has yet to still be done. So even though a good chunk of us were in Selma this past weekend as well, celebrating Jubilee, the 59th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, as the left part of your screen here, we were at the Foot Soldiers breakfast. This is Miss Joanne Bland. If you haven't met her yet, please go on a learning tour because it is somebody you do need to meet. And we were just sitting there celebrating just all of the foot soldiers that are still alive today. They're still living proof that a future that they once dreamed of and still possibly happen. This is also a multi-generational and multiracial room that we were in that only some of those folks dreamed of having. And so this virtual space right here is also multi-generational and multiracial. And it's only a future at some point that someone once dreamed of. So what can we do to build on those dreams? So yes, we were there in Selma. Madam VP Kamala Harris was there giving a wonderful speech. Some of our community anchors, community folks who were also in Selma got to walk with her across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. So it's really, really cool to see. So there's lots of pictures circulating. A lot of the media channels, actually, if you see pictures of the VP walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, 99% of the people that she walked with, are community anchors of ours and partners of ours also down in Selma. So I just wanted to say that quick bit. And we do have some reminders of upcoming events and just things that we have, a little cute animation there. So upcoming events, here are some things.
Marcy, real quick. It's my turn to interrupt you now. Sorry. But before we move on to the wrapping up segment, I saw Olivia join just now.
Oh, she did? Yay!
Yeah. Can I have her speak to her experience as well?
Of course.
Olivia, you there?
Yeah, sorry, I am there. I am on my phone. I can put my
You're
video
fine.
on, but it's like not the I'm gonna be down low. Okay,
That's
I'll put
okay.
it on.
So Olivia also came back yesterday, and if you notice her face and then also the picture, that's Olivia right there in that picture right there in the fieldwork box. Just guiding people through something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. It's not very photogenic. Yes. Yeah, so I was I hope you guys, I don't know if you guys can see me. I can't see myself, but I was a team lead for Team Texas with Elizabeth. I don't know if she's on this meeting or not, but can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
loud
you're
and
good.
clear.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not used to zooming on. I was trying to log into my laptop, but yeah. So I was a team lead for Team Texas with Elizabeth, and yeah, I just got back last night from landing back in Maryland where I go to school, but it was a really, really great trip. We had there was overall 15 of us, and we just kind of hit McAllen, Texas. I think we were even in Mission for a little bit, and we did, I think overall we knocked on 1,789 doors, which I think is really amazing for not having a huge group, and it was also really hot and humid and some of our trips were spread out a little bit, but yeah, it was really great as far as canvassing goes, and it was just really wonderful to bond with the other volunteers. Most of them had never canvassed before or even met in person. So it was just a really good experience. And we also, our candidate won, Michelle Veo won. So that's always a really good bonus to a great canvassing trip. So yeah.
And I want to, so Olivia, I want to ask you something really quick. What state were you a crew lead for?
Oh, for Action Academy?
Yes.
I was a crew lead for North Carolina.
North Carolina. And how did you end up in Texas?
I'm actually really not even sure, to be honest, to that answer. That might be like a Puya or like big question, but I mean, I know that Texas, it was just like an open available spot. I was actually originally assigned to Ohio, so and it didn't really work out. So then I got assigned to like Team Texas, and I was really excited because also it was my first time ever in Texas. So I was very, very excited about that. Even if it wasn't necessarily my home state, it was great to still go to Texas.
That's amazing. Well, we learn about the state of Texas in Action Academy. So one of the things that we do in Action Academy when the cohort starts is that they self-select themselves into a state that we are doing work in. So this year, our state numbers keep adding up. So the cohort will decide if they want to be the Texas crew, North Carolina crew. And most of the times, though, when they are in that state crew, if they do decide to come back as a crew lead, they always want to be a crew lead for that state. So there is this like growth that, hey, I was in the Texas crew as a participant. Now I'm a Texas crew lead when I am now mentoring and shepherding the cohort to learn about this particular state. So when we learn about all of these topics around gerrymandering, voter rights history, they learn about these topics in the states that they're in. So you learn about the voter suppression stuff that's happening in Texas, when when the 15th and 19th and 13th Amendment got ratified in that state, so that in hopes that when they are ready to travel in those states, they have all the educational background as to why this state has either progressed in democracy or has digressed in democracy. So they know how important it is to go and turn out a particular vote and to go turn out that particular door. Okay, I think we are almost close to time, but before we do end tonight, there are some upcoming events. These are just ones that are happening in the next several weeks, at least until we see you at the next upcoming CP community meeting in April. So foundational courses in the Institute are being offered too in the next set of Mondays, Lecture 1 and Lecture 2 around women's political activism in the progressive area that is being hosted by Dr. Terry Scott. And then of course, like MJ said earlier, fieldwork training is also happening, a series of them, 101, 102, and 103 that you can also sign up and start to get training so you are more equipped and prepared when you are ready to field work with us. You can also go to mobilize.us and /Common Power to our Mobilize page to get more things live and updated, and also schedule the next several months about what community events you are going to be attending for CP. You can also go to commonpower.org and look up all the other events in the Institute to see all of the other offerings the Institute is having. And also Action Academy applications are still open, CPFuture.org. Send it to anyone that you know could totally benefit from a program like this, and to see a growth of a young person and a leadership like an Ellie, like a Blossom, like an Olivia, like a Ben, I see your hand also, Ben, up, like a Sam and like a Rowan, and they are going to be embraced by our programming and developed into the leaders that you are seeing today, either with you in the field or in virtual community. Yes, Ben, go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to make a quick note. You might notice here that there are some overlapping dates and times on our events. There were just some unavoidable scheduling conflicts that happened this month. I will say that like all of our trainings are recorded. So if you find yourself being torn between two different events, right? That like if you register for both, I believe the lectures are recorded too, at least this foundational course. So if you register for both, then you're gonna get a follow-up email to every like where we send a follow-up email to every registered participant with the recording. So just a quick note there if you're deciding between one or the other.
Awesome. Yes, and we are doing an updated version of these schedulings to not overlap so much. So just again, keep an eye out on any information from our newsletters, the mobilize.us page, and any times you can go to the website, just in case some of these times have updated, but we are, Ben and others are doing a really good job making sure we're not double booking you all on our events and stuff. So we want to give you a treat. Yes, Kyra, take it away. But one thing that we,
Of course I got college.
Oopsies, we're gonna restart this one. So this is the most viewed post on our Instagram. We asked some of our phenomenal folks in our team to just do some quick little reels, is what they call them nowadays. But anyway, this was a lot of fun. Okay, okay. Boys. Oh. All right, go ahead, Kyra, take it away.
I'm an Action Academy graduate. Of course I got college credit for it.
I'm an Action Academy graduate. Of course I came for the cash.
I'm an Action Academy graduate. Of course I've been a crew lead twice.
Super senior.
Oh.
I'm an Action Academy graduate. Of course I stay on my Zoom.
I'm an Action Academy grad. Of course I learned about the blueberries and the tomatoes.
I'm an Action Academy graduate. Of course I love talking to voters.
Ben, you're inside the house.
That doesn't matter.
All right, community. I hope you enjoyed your time with us and the CPFuture team as we hosted this. Big shout out to Blossom, Kyra, Ellie, and the rest of the Gen Z folks who are giving us hope and giving us something to live for these days as we make this community fun and lighthearted, because guys, we got work to do. Thank you all. And we are officially now in after credits. Okay, Kyra.